Hi, my name is Mary B. Singer, and I just had want to do a short little video. People asked some questions on how to schedule things and how I did my weeks, and I just learned some things over the years I'd like to share with you today. Scheduling tips. The first thing I like to do when I'm sitting down with the schedule is review my vision of what is the most important thing that I want my kids to know. My vision structure I've reviewed in other videos. I have my core and crest of leadership viewpoint with my different lenses on different days. And to me, those are the second, I should say, those are the second, maybe third most important. So for me, my scholastic, what people consider my strictly scholastic schedule is my probably third most important thing that I schedule in. And again, sorry, write this a little bit bigger. My third most important thing is scholastic items. My first one is devotional. I have a devotional every day of the week. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We always have a Pledge of Allegiance and some kind of patriotic song to stir them up. I envision them in the battlefield, fighting for a cause, and having these songs come to mind surfacing about freedom that buoy them up. And so we have a song, we have a pledge. A lot of times to gather them, I'll have some kind of funny video just as a gathering tool to help draw them faster, like Studio C or something. But I think the devotional is a very important thing I've seen over the years. At first I kind of acted on like this glimmer of faith that it was an important thing, kind of a seed I planted, and I've seen the fruits of it over the years, that it strengthened a core and a moral compass for my kids. So devotionals, I often will include videos off of our church channel or good moral videos off of the internet. There's so many great videos out there. I like to incorporate videos and other people's experiences because my kids get tired of listening to me all the time. And I love to see other viewpoints and world points and bring them in to teach them. I actually do it with all of my kids at the same time. And sometimes it obviously is more geared towards my older, sometimes my younger ones. And sometimes we will actually have separate devotionals, but for the most part we just all come together. We have a time where we talk about some kind of principle or important thing that's important for our family. I normally use it to reinforce our theme for the month. And then we have a kind of discussion with it, and then we have a song, and then a prayer at the end of it, and then I can have them do reflection time, which is when they sit there with their notebook. So anyway, so that's a little, I don't know, I guess I addressed a little bit into what a devotional is, but that is the most important thing of my day that I schedule in. Then the second thing I always schedule in is work. They always need to get their jobs done, at least to a certain degree. So I feel like that's, once you can get a good work system in place, then it just gets running smoothly, and then they can take care of that. Because you always need to get the dishes done. If they just pile up, it just becomes a burden, at least in my experience. Okay, so I review my vision. What do I want to have in that week? And so I make sure those are scheduled in. I put my rocks in first. So when I'm scheduling out my day, and you've seen an example and a picture of my day and how I schedule it, I always put the devotional at 9 o'clock, or whenever we're going to do devotional. Then I also make sure they know when their work is expected to be done by. And then I only focus on basically one scholastic class a day. I used to try to fit in more, and well, generally just one, sometimes I have 2 or 3. But I found that my kids need time to live and need time to pursue their own scholastic goals, to have fun together, to think, to not be rushed and harried. And I was getting worn out as well as them. So we'll have our specific classes that I've kind of weaned out over the time, a lot of other excess stuff. So we just have our core classes that we have every day that I offer them. Okay, then you experiment with it. Okay, have fun with your schedule. You can see on our website, Homeschooling is for the Bees. You can see a basic daily schedule I have. There's a lot of latitude in there though. Experiment with it. It was in Walden and Thoreau's book when he said something that was really, I love it. He said, have a day when you just let the bells ring. Don't be hurried to try to put out this fire, put out this fire. Just kind of see how things go and see how your life really operates. I think sometimes we go into homeschooling with this idealistic idea of how our days should look like. And you know, we're going to have the dishes done by this time, and I used to think, oh, I can have everything done by 8 o'clock, and we can get going on things, and we're going to go exercise and do all this. I was killing myself and killing my poor family in order to accomplish what really were not realistic or healthy goals for us. And so I did a few of these days where I would just kind of go, okay, guys, make sure your job's done, and we'll have breakfast, and I didn't put time frames on any of it. And I kind of just went with the flow and nudged here and there, but just kind of watched how our family operated. And I could see places where we could improve, but I could also see places where they just kind of they needed that first time of the day to kind of get going. This is our family's dynamic. And so by 9 o'clock, we have most of the jobs done, the house is clean, and we can start devotional and get going with our school day. I tried doing it later, but I found that our real productive time was in the morning. Really productive time was in the morning. And so I experimented. And so I came with my own schedule. It used to be I would do math every day at this time, and that just didn't happen. So I changed it. I'm not going to keep saying we're going to do math every day if we're not doing math every day. My kids know if I'm not doing the things that I put on the list. And so I'm not saying that I don't follow through. Like, for instance, this week we had history scheduled for Tuesday. We had visitors come over, other things that were really important, and I had to weigh in my mind, is it worth pushing history right now at the moment? No, it's not. And so I put history on today. So there are some times when I will talk and we'll put it the other day. So experiment with your schedule, okay? And be open to change. Everyone's schedule should look different because everyone's family's dynamics are different. Acknowledge seasons and cycles. Okay, time of the year is a big thing. Winter, we're more settled in, we're reading, we're focused, we're playing games in the house. There's a lot more studying that gets done in the winter than the other times. Summer too, when it gets really, really hot. Spring, you know, my kids are outside pretty much all the time, as well as in the fall. We will do our classes, but a lot of times I'll take them outside. And there's times when you have Christmas. I don't do anything in December really, other than if we have service projects or whatever, because Christmas is, it's futile. It's just, you don't even bother with it. So just recognize those, acknowledge them, and say, hey, but we do a lot of work in August, or we're able to get a lot done in July, so let's do it then. Another thing to acknowledge is days and your weeks. How do they flow? I found that Monday I'm all geared up, ready, and excited to go. So we do some pretty good, intense stuff there. My kids are too. And then Tuesday we normally have a lot of hands-on experience, and let's get these classes, and woo, this is exciting. Then they're kind of burned out. So Wednesday we do science, and there's just more hands-on and fun and relaxed. And then we go to art, which is definitely more art, you know, free, go with the flow kind of idea. And then Fridays, I actually normally don't schedule anything on Fridays because chances are during the week there were things that I didn't get to yet, and so I put them on Friday. And so we just put things in there. Fridays are good for that. Friday afternoons are the worst time to have clubs or anything else in my estimation, unless you absolutely have to have them at that time, because it's just it's the end of the week, everyone's burned out. Great time to go visit family, do play groups, sports groups, whatever, just have fun together. But they don't have to have it. So I just wanted to give you, so think about your schedule. Think about what things are important to me, okay? What is my vision for what I want my family to accomplish? And then don't measure against anyone else's. Chances are you in your gut know what your family really needs and what your vision should be. Then put those rocks in first, those big things in first, and the sand will all fill in later. Experiment with, your schedule. Don't be afraid to toss it around. Give it a chance though, try it for a week or two at least. Or if it's just really failing, then of course change. And then acknowledge again these times and seasons, The first week of the month, hey, we're excited. Even by the fourth week, you notice a difference in those if you pay attention. So I hope this helps. Give feedback or any suggestions you have for how to help with your own schedule and things that work for you. And look forward to seeing your comments. Thanks.